Of course, many of us expected that, but let me hear your take on that.
Yeah, as you already mentioned, it was an expected result. If you look at the head-to-head between Argentina and Peru, Argentina has always had the upper hand, so it's something you would have expected. And then the Messi factor, you can't leave that out as well. Lautaro Martinez has been a man on fire in this tournament and within the season that just concluded. I think he tops the goal scoring chart already in the tournament with 3 or 4 goals, I think. So Argentina, I think they're the team to beat in this tournament. So Peru had they didn't stand a chance ab initio. So, but it was a fair play to them. They didn't go down like taking it to lying down. They put up a good fight, but Argentina just proved stronger for them in the day yesterday.
Of course, Argentina would always be the favorites in the Copa America, as well as Brazil. So far, many people have considered or said that Brazil has been underwhelming so far. They've not really lived up. And are you ruling them out as favorites in this tournament? I just want to get your take on that because so far we've had comments from social commentators. Brazil, the Samba football we got to see back in the days, they no longer have this flair and sort of passion for the game as many people would consider. Are they still a team to look out for in this tournament?
It would be football foolishness and inexperience to rule out Brazil from any tournament because when you look at the caliber of players on their roster, it will be difficult for you to do that. We have the likes of what's his name now? Vinicius Junior. We have the likes of Rodrigo. We have there's lots of them. We have Guimaraes from Newcastle. So they have an impressive team. If they are able to bring all these talents together and gel, I think they are the second favorites behind Argentina. When you have a national team that the legends like Ronaldinho is coming up to criticize in public, you do understand that yes, they've had their difficulties in the past, but I would not rule out Brazil from this tournament. If anyone is going to take Argentina to the bottom line, it's going to be Brazil.
Yes, definitely Brazil. With the whole Ronaldinho situation, we saw that we saw him calling out the Brazilian national team, and many people kind of agree with what he said. But along the line, he said it was just a promotion, but he said the minds of several people of what we've seen lately about the Brazilian team. But of course, Brazil is never a team to rule out in any tournaments. Coming up today, we have the Euros round of 16, England, Slovakia, Spain, Georgia. I heard you, Sharks. England, Slovakia. Who is your money on?
Uh, I I want to go with the talent of England. I do not completely trust the talent of Gareth Southgate. I don't trust him as a coach because he has proven over time to be too cautious and it comes at an expense. You have a very wealthy team in your disposal. It's something you should be happy. You give a team like the one he has to a coach like Pep Guardiola and or Mikel Arteta, and you have a beautiful tournament to watch. But so far, the English team has underwhelmed. And I
Okay.
would lay the blame solely on the feet of the manager because his team selections have been confusing at times, and at other occasions they've just been outright uncreative. Because he can do better. The team is worthy, but
So, you know,
for my prediction,
some
I'll
school
go
of
with
thought,
yeah.
you go with.
I'll get an England win, but it's going to be a difficult win. It's not going to be an easy one. It's going to be difficult because the Slovakian team has been very technical throughout the tournament. They are fast and they would want to expose the lack of pace in the defense of the English team because you have a stagnant Gay and an unfit John Stones playing as a central defenders, and then you have Trippier who is ordinarily a right back playing at left back. So that I think they will give Trippier a hard time for his they'll give him a hard time for his money today, but England will come out tops at the end of the day.
Can you put a scoreline to that? What's your prediction?
I think they'll go down to penalties. I think they'll go down to penalties, but England will come up tops.
Okay,
It's going to be a
okay.
1-1 draw full time, then they'll go down to penalties.
Some school of thought would argue that Gareth Southgate has been England's best manager in several years. I mean, he's taken them to several semi-finals, quarterfinals. In 65 years, this national team has won nothing. And and in recent tournaments, Euro 2020, they got to the semi-finals and they were knocked out there. So criticizing, I think we need to give Gareth Southgate a plus. Although he plays haram football, as some persons will call it, but in terms of results and achievements, he has been their best manager in several years. And maybe sometimes we should try to give him a benefit of that.
I completely agree with you on that, but that's why if you notice, I didn't reference his past performance in previous tournaments because I know he has been the man for them. But the thing is, Southgate has refused to evolve. That is where the issue is. We're not saying he has not been good enough for England, but he has refused to evolve. At the moment, the team England has cannot succeed playing the way he wants them to play. They cannot. You do not have the likes of Declan Rice, Phil Foden, and Saka, and you want to play haram football, it wouldn't succeed because these guys are at their best when they're allowed to express themselves. So it is time for Southgate to move from his cautious approach of football to a more proactive than a reactive approach. That is what I'm saying. If he's ready to take the advantage or take the risks, England is still my best team to win this tournament. They're still my favorites for me. They're still the favorites for me because
Really?
they're still the favorite. They have the best squad in the tournament right now. So on paper, they're the favorites for me.
Spain, Portugal. This is
Saying Portugal is going to be difficult to call.
okay, okay. So England favorites to win the tournament for you. Spain, Georgia. What are your predictions for that match? So the Spain team is balling fire right now. Lamine Yamal and the rest of the team doing a fantastic job. Yamal is working wonders, and of course, everyone would expect Spain to win that particular match. But the Georgian team, the surprise they pulled against a possible team, they are no team to write off. So let me hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, as you said, the Georgian team is no pushover, but the Spanish team now presents a perfect example for the criticisms we have leveled against Gareth Southgate at this tournament. Now, you notice that Spain has not held fastidiously to their tiki-taka approach of football in this tournament. They've adapted as the circumstances warranted. They've played tiki-taka, they've defended, and they've attacked. That is what we want Southgate to do. Sorry, I'm always going back to Southgate. I have a personal connection to England, obviously. But back to the question in context, at the end of the day, I think Georgia has run its course. They've run their race. It was fun while it lasted, but it's time for them to go. The Spanish team will come up top this one. I think it's a 2-0 win for Spain.
My money is on Georgia. We should bet.
You're going with the underdog spirit.
Yeah, the underdog story. I like an underdog story. It's
Let's see how it goes then. Let's see how it goes. Well, I think you should go with Spain.
well, at the end of the day, we'll find out. Coming up in the Copa America, Jamaica, Venezuela, will play in the quarterfinals of the Copa America. Jamaica, Venezuela. What are your takes on that game? The Jamaican team and the Venezuelan team, I think they are sort of on par in terms of technical ability and well, but I see Venezuela winning this one, but it's not going to be an easy game. It's of course it's a game of football. Nothing is sure, and surprises could be pulled, you know. So, but your takes on that are hard, Chief Sharks.
Yeah, when you explore the football heritage between both teams, you would want to go with a Venezuelan win. But as you mentioned, football is a game that is played in 90 minutes and on the pitch, not on paper. So I would want to be careful with who I'm going with because we've seen a renaissance lately from the Jamaican team. The likes of Antonio have been beautiful for the national team and their club side. So I wouldn't want to write off the Jamaicans outrightly. And this is still they are still at the group stages, so anything can happen. Personally, my money is on Jamaican team to win this one. 2 goals to one.
Jamaican team.
Yes.
Yeah, Jamaican team is not pushover, like you rightly said. Oh, they've shown over the years that it's not just athletics, it's not just athletics that they're good in. They have
Yeah, they are
started
good
to,
at football as well. They are beginning to prove that to us.
yeah. But the Venezuelan team, let me go with the Venezuelan team this time. I see 2-1 win in favor of Venezuela team.
Oh, we are switching sides now.
We are switching. Let's switch. Let me not be too agreeable. But I'm seeing the facts. But this is bad. This is when you're gambling, you need to
Yeah, it's tournament football. Anything can happen.
yeah. So Mexico, Ecuador, who is your money on?
Ah, the Ecuadorian team has been an off and on season. During the qualifiers, they had some a few good games and then some bad games. But Mexico has been more consistent for me. And when you look at the pedigree of players on their roster as well, you're inclined to go with them. So yeah, I think it's going to be. I see a draw. I see a draw here. It's a draw. Mexico, Venezuela. It's going to be a draw. Yes. Ecuador, sorry, not Venezuela. Mexico, Ecuador.
A draw. Okay, fair enough. Mexico, Ecuador, a draw. Well, I haven't watched a single football of Mexico and Ecuador this Copa America, but from football, these two sides are very good football playing sides. Uh, Ecuador. My money's on Ecuador. I don't know why, but my money's on Ecuador.
Nah,
So
that's not a bad choice. It's not a bad choice. But let's see. Again, we'll see how it goes.
yeah. So France, Belgium tomorrow. France will face Belgium. Two very strong sides, two very strong European nations squaring up in the semi-finals. I mean, I didn't expect that we're going to see such a strong lineup of such a strong picture already in the round of 16. So France, Belgium, two heavyweights in the game of football. Who comes out tops?
It feels like there's a lot at stake in this particular fixture. As you mentioned, this is the kind of game you would want to see in the final or the semi-final, where
Exactly.
it would be more entertaining then. But
Yeah.
there's a lot at stake. For Belgium, this is the last opportunity for their golden generation to win something. Because after now, you have the likes of Lukaku, De Bruyne, Trossard.
Yeah.
They'll be at the swan song of their careers or looking towards retirement, the likes of Courtois as well. So this is their last opportunity. And then you have a France team that is led by their ever consistent captain, Kylian Mbappe, who they are looking to, I think, reach greater heights from what they've done in 2018 and then 2020 in the World Cup. So it's going to be a really tough fixture. But I want to go with the talent of France here. I want to go with the talent of France. But with a caveat, it is not an outright victory for France. I'm only doing saying I'm going to France because they've proven their tournament credentials over the course of the last three tournaments. They've anything that has been thrown at them, they've conquered. They've withered the storm and then come up tops. So I want to go up with the precedent they've set in the past. That's why I'm sticking with France. But I'll not be surprised if Belgium throws a curveball and then win this game. It wouldn't come to me as a surprise. But my initial response is to go with France.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. Looking at this tournament so far, Belgium qualified on, I think everyone in that particular group was on, they had equal points.
Yeah.
Everyone had equal points. How Belgium finished top of that group was because of goal difference. So far in this tournament, they've not really shown that hunger. They've not really shown that desire to want to go for tournaments. But that is a group stage, and knockout games are usually tricky, and anything could happen. But I think I'll go with France regardless.
Yeah, knockout games
So
are tricky,
Portugal,
but yes, France has a
yeah,
pedigree.
they have the pedigree to win that game. They've done it consistently over the years, and we don't see why. I don't see why they won't do it this time. So Portugal,
Okay.
Slovenia, Portugal,
It's
Slovenia.
an easy win for Portugal there. No debate. No, it's an easy win for Portugal.
If
But there's a caveat here.
if
I
Georgia,
think I think Ronaldo has run his race in the tournament. His age is catching up with him, and Martinez is being too respectful. This we are getting towards the business end of the tournament now. You are not allowed to take too many risks now. I think Ronaldo should be probably an impact player from the bench these days, where he comes in and where the game is already won, he just comes in and then do a few steps overs and It's all good. It's all good. But we cannot have Ronaldo running the whole length of the pitch 90 minutes no more. It's a risk that Portugal should not be taking if they intend to go far in this tournament. But it's going to be an easy win for them here.
Yeah, it's when you look at a player like Cristiano Ronaldo, it's not just sometimes it's not just about his playing ability on the pitch. It's about his presence on the pitch. It's all about like what he the aura he instills, he carries with him. It's about his presence only. When
Yeah,
Ronaldo is on,
the fear factor. His name brings a fear factor, strikes fear amongst the hearts of
exactly,
defenders. I agree with you on that.
yeah, draws defenders to himself, frees up his teammates, and they do their business. So, but you don't think Slovenia will pull a Georgia in this one?
Only Georgia can pull a Georgia.
I mean,
And maybe an Austria can pull an Austria.
if Georgia
But
can do it,
no,
why
but
not Slovenia?
it's going to be a Portugal game today. Portugal is going to take the day for this one.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But then let's see what happens in that particular game. Also coming up in the okay. I think that's as much as it goes for the round of the 16 of the Euro 2024 and the Copa America. Overall, England are your favorites to win this tournament, right, Mr. Justin?
Yes, if I would say that again. Let me repeat myself. If Gareth Southgate is willing to change his tactics, for instance, if we don't know if what's his name now, Luke Shaw will be fit to start today. Play someone like a player like Saka at left back. You move Phil Foden. Sorry, you play Palmer at right back at right wing back. So in attack, so where Saka is currently playing, and then you move Foden centrally to partner Jude Bellingham, and then you play Gordon off the left wing. It would be a very beautiful game to watch. Kane would not need to drop back, to drop in and then link up the play because the players behind him, when you have Foden and Bellingham sitting behind you, your work is
Yeah.
cut out for you. It's just to score goals because those guys will supply the goals for you. They would give the passes. Yours is just to score. So Southgate has to be more adventurous in the tournament for England to stand a chance of coming out of this tournament with anything substantial.
Yeah, he needs to stop being reservative and go all out with the caliber of players he has. But it's tournament football and one goal conceded. I think he's playing too safe. One goal conceded could prove detrimental and all. But he has like an array of talents, arsenals at his disposal that he can use to surprise any team. But then Gareth Southgate will always be Gareth Southgate. So
Yeah.
we don't know what he's actually thinking. I think I left out some of the Euro 2024 round of 16 matches. Romania, Netherlands on Tuesday.
Romania,
So
Netherlands.
yeah, Romania, Netherlands.
Yeah, the Dutch, they were impressive in their first two matches, and then against Australia. Was it Australia? Yeah, where the yes, that game. I was in shock. I was watching this game and I didn't know what possessed the Australians, but I hope it was a one-off thing for the Dutch and they'll come out firing from all cylinders in the next game against Romania. So Romania, they've done their bit. They've done their bit. So it's time to go home.
I'm not sure they would agree.
Obviously, it would be bad for them to agree. It would be unserious as well for them to agree because everybody is here to win. Nobody has come in here to complete the numbers of teams in the tournament. So it would be nothing short of the expectations for them to agree with me. But the Dutch and the talents they have in their team should
Yeah.
should should have a field day today.
Your
Sorry, on
money,
Tuesday rather.
your money is on the Netherlands then.
Yes, please.
Romania for the win. I like an underdog story.
Your underdog story. I hope it doesn't come back to hurt you.
No, if he comes back, no, no. Look at that team. You know, the underdogs are usually the hungrier sides, and they are actually the side waiting up. You get, and
Yeah.
there's not so much pressure on them. And then when they get to the pitch, they just pull surprises and they end up shocking
Yeah,
everyone.
the pressure is an
So
important factor as well.
yeah, so this one, my money is on Romania. They cannot disappoint me. Also coming up same Tuesday, Austria versus Turkey in that frantic Euro 2026, 2024 match. Austria will square up against Turkey. In I think both the Austrian team and the Turkish team, will I say the umpire? No, I think the Austrian side is a lot more technically advanced, sort of with Ralf Ragnick doing wonders with that particular team. We've seen them from the qualifiers. We've seen how they top their group, how they top their group in the group stage and the qualifiers. I think for this one, my money is on the Austrian side. My money is on the Austrian side.
I think for the first time here, both of us are in agreement. We're in agreement on this one. Ravnik has done wonders with that team. You know, when he left Manchester United, a lot of us wrote him off. We thought his time at the top was over, and then when what's it called now, Bayern Munich came in for him earlier in the summer to become their new coach, and he declined. I felt he was an opportunity missed, but with the way his team has
Yeah.
been playing in this tournament, you'd realize why he did not want to leave. I mean, he had a vision of what he wanted to achieve in the tournament, and he has set about doing it in a very beautiful way. They've been playing
I mean,
poetic football so far, and
I agree.
that continue. I want to see that continue. So if I'm going to go with an underdog story, Austria is my favorite underdog team. So I think they are going to come up tops against Australia, against Turkey. Turkey,
I,
this one.
Turkey, yeah. I don't see Austria in this tournament so far. They've been doing wonders. I've actually removed them from underdogs. I'm putting them at par with the big boys.
They are no longer
I mean,
underdogs for you.
they are not underdogs for me. They play so beautifully. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they seem to be doing everything right. And this tournament, they're in the same category with Portugal, France, Belgium, England for me.
I mean,
Turkey is the
if you look
under.
at the group they've come up from, they topped that group, and the group was the group D.
Yeah,
It was initially termed the group of death, and you have a team that nobody initially gave a chance to topping the group, and it just goes how much to show you the efforts that has been put into the team by both the coaching staff and the playing staff. Kudos to both to everybody involved in this Australian team. It's been a beautiful watch so far, and I want to see that
yeah.
continue.
Yeah, I definitely would love to see that continue. I would love to see them advance from this particular round and, of course, go very far in the tournament. Also, coming up in the Copa America, it's Bolivia versus Panama, USA versus Uruguay. Bolivia, Panama. Two sides that I can't really say who is up. Bolivia, Panama. Let me hear your takes first.
This is one of those fixtures where you are going to see it's going to be a heavy scoring fixture by both teams. Panama does not really have a rich football heritage per se. They recently just became active in international football. And then Bolivia is more in depth in.
Sorry, I think we've lost Mr. Justin there, but the Copa America is the Bolivia Panama. Uh, Bolivia Panama. I think I see Panama pulling surprises in that particular tournament, but we don't know. Let's hope Mr. Justin comes back to give us his takes on this particular game. Okay, we've lost Mr. Justin there due to network and technical
I'm
glitches.
back with you.
All right, all right. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I
So
don't I
you
don't
were
know
talking about
at what point did I lose you so I could recap?
we were talking about it's only recently that the Panama team became relevant in international football.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah. So as I was saying, so I would want to, I'm inclined to go with Bolivia here because they've been more prominent in international football than Panama. So I think today it's the experience is going to count for them. But when you look at the other game, the other fixture between Uruguay and the United States of
United States.
America, it's more tricky. Now Darwin Nunes has been
Yeah, it's been
impressive
fantastic.
for me. He took his goal the other day so beautifully well. So then you have the likes of Pulisic, who was on fire in the Serie A in the just concluded season, and then you have Wesley Mackenzie in from Juventus. So
Yeah.
is that I think they're a team that are evenly matched. So I see a draw here. It's a draw. I see a draw here tonight.
You see, I see the Uruguayan national team winning this one. I mean, we've seen what Darwin Nunes is doing. He's been scoring goals. He's been consistent for the national team. He's been more consistent than he is for the club side. I mean,
Yes, that's true.
we have seen a different side of Darwin Nunes that we haven't seen at Liverpool, even though his skills and technical ability is not in question, but he's so far shown it in these tournaments, and I think he'll continue to show that as well as the Uruguayan national team. So I see I see Uruguay winning this one with a very slim margin, probably 1 goal to nothing or 2 goals to one. But we are going to have to find out.
We're going to have to wait to find out.
Yeah. Also in the coming days on Wednesday, Brazil will square up against Colombia. Colombia has been fantastic in this tournament. Brazil team has been underwhelming, as most people would say. So Brazil, Colombia, a very tricky one. A very tricky one. What are your predictions for this one?
I didn't get the last question.
The Brazilian team and the Colombian team will square up in the quarterfinals of the Copa America on Wednesday night, on the early hours of Wednesday morning. So I think so far the Colombian team has been fantastic. The Brazilian team has been underwhelming, as some people would say, but I think it's going to be a very tricky game, and I see the Colombian side coming out tops in this game. But I want to hear your predictions first. Can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost him again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did you hear my question?
Yeah, I did. I got your question. You were talking about the quarterfinals on Wednesday between Colombia and Brazil. As much as we have agreed that the Brazilian team in the last 1 year has been underwhelming, we cannot write the Brazilian team off. They are the Samba boys for a reason. The Samba boys will always arise when they need their Samba. So I'm going with a Brazilian win here, but it's going to be a hard-fought victory. It's not something that will come too easily to them. But at the end of the day, they are going to come up tops.
The Samba boys, what have they won in recent years? Are the Samba boys living in past glory like Manchester United here, or it's just it's we've not seen that flair from them. It's like like someone who comes from a family with a very renowned surname, but I see the Colombian team, but then we have to find out. We have to find out after the game. Also, in the coming matches, and the same day, we have the Costa Rican team facing the Paraguayan national team. The Costa Rican team they have been performing. They've been performing, but in this game, I cannot say for sure who's going to come out tops in this game. I think technically they are on par for me. I don't see most of their matches, but I think they're on par. But let me hear your predictions before I make my own predictions.
Uh, as you mentioned, technically, there's not too much that could be that is there to divide these teams amongst into two, or some too much that sets them apart. So it's quite tricky for me. I cannot put a score line to it. I'm trying to do the numbers in my head, but nothing is adding up too squarely. So I'm going to go with the safe bet and say it's going to be a draw. Then maybe
Draw.
they go to penalties, and then luck. This is where the luck comes in. The best team will win, obviously, but the 90 minutes is going to be a draw. It's going to be a draw for me.
It thinks a draw. Then I think I agree with you on this one. A draw, and then the one team will scrap off a penalty win from the other. Yes, it's been an amazing few minutes talking about the upcoming Euros 2024 and the Copa America. fixtures. I've been doing this with the one and only guest in the game, Al Sharks. Al Sharks has been amazing doing this with this afternoon. Later tonight, England will face the Slovakian team in what will typically define the trajectory of the England national team's tournament so far. So we'll be bringing all of these features in the coming days, or tomorrow morning we'll be bringing all of these updates to you as it happens. We also have a live coverage this evening to comment and talk about this particular match. Al Sharks, any last words before you leave the studio?
Gareth Southgate should change his tactics and allow England players express themselves. That is it for me.
You have a personal sense, you have a personal love, or you're Nigerian.
I mean, we all watch the English Premiership, so I think at some level, there's a certain level of attachment to the English national team for most of us.
Do you think this is about Gareth Southgate or the players, or a lack of love for the badge and the shirt?
I have not perceived a lack of love from the play on the part of the players, because they've been respectful to the coach. You don't see, we're not seeing a situation where the players are playing away from his instructions. They are doing exactly what he has instructed them to do. That's why we've seen the quality of the game. It's been consistent. They've been poor all through. So I don't think it's the players completely. You have to be sure or confident that you have that freedom of expression from your manager, from the gaffer, before you can go out there and express yourself freely. I mean, look at Foden, for instance. The young man was on fire in the Premier League, and now he plays like he has changed to his feet in this tournament. The same thing as Kane. We could argue that Kane didn't come in with wasn't completely fit when he came into the team. But what of the likes of Gordon sitting, wasting about on the bench? We've had Copa wasting about on the bench. The Trent experiments did not work. Bring in Meno, bring in Gallagher, and then you allow the boys express themselves and see what's happened, how beautiful football can be.
Phil Foden has been criticized to be a system player, that he only thrives within the Guardiola setting. He hasn't performed really over the years, not just for this particular tournament, but he hasn't performed really well in the national team. Is it something about Pep Guardiola players not flourished in the national team? I mean, apart from Kevin De Bruyne, who is doing well in the Belgian national team, most of the Manchester City players have not really lived up to expectations in their national teams. I mean, they play really well. They play really well in their club side, but when it comes to the national team, they do not perform very well. Is there something about the system that under this system, they can only flourish under a particular system, and then when they come to their national teams, they do not live up to this? Do you agree with some of these sentiments?
If we are saying Foden is a system player, then give him the system, create the system for him, put players around him that will make him more. I mean, he's good enough to deliver that world-class talent for you. So why not create the system around him? And for the rest of the other players at City, obviously with Guardiola, you have to thrive in the system. So I would agree that a lot of them are system players, but that would be insulting on the caliber or on the talent of people like De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva and Hazard. So they are going to flourish at the end of the day. So it just give them the system, give them the right tools to work with, and they'll flourish. That's why it's called a system.
That's why it's called a system. Different coach, different managers, different systems. So is this a case of these players not being able to work with
So I didn't quite get that.
I know system players work under particular systems. Different managers, different systems. So it's a case of certain players not being able to work with certain managers.
Sorry, I didn't get that again.
Is this a case? You made mention of system players.
Yeah.
System players and creating the system for these players. Is this a case of, and different managers have their different systems and different ideologies, right? Is this a case of Phil Foden, Kai Walker, and the likes not being able to work with the target system?
Yeah, I think what is that for Southgate to do is continuity because he already has the likes of Kai Walker on the team. You have Phil Foden and you have John Stones. That is already a system. Now you bring in players that you make that system better. That's why you bring in someone like Gordon, who would allow Foden to not drift out wide and play centrally where he's more comfortable playing. And then you have someone like Palmer on the other flank who likes to drift in. So it's just put the mix of players there and they would complement each other.
Okay. Gareth Southgate, I hope you're watching us right now.
I hope you
Alhaji
don't.
has got a lot to say to you. I think you should call him personally. You seem your
I'll
love.
find a way to do that.
Excuse me.
I'll find a way to get a call across to him personally and see he
Yeah,
changes.
yeah. He needs to listen to you. He needs to listen to you. Maybe add you to his technical team. Okay, it's been an amazing few minutes dissecting all of these issues in the world of football, in the Euros, in the Copa America. And if you want to know which match are you most excited to watch? Let us know on our social media
It's
channels.
France against
Don't forget
Germany, France against Belgium, no doubt. I think that's
France
a that's
against
a
Belgium.
week. France against Belgium.
Definitely. I think a
Yes.
lot of people will agree with that. Let us know on our social media channels and don't forget to tune in tomorrow for all the highlights. We'll be showing all of the highlights on our YouTube pages, on our Facebook pages. Until then, enjoy the games and have a very nice day. Good
Thank
afternoon.
you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.